7:10 p.m. All right, and first thing is to review the minutes from November 14th. Just a reminder to everyone, this is being recorded. So, I did not see any errors. Did you see anything?
I-
Anything?
This whole
Just-
week.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
whole thing was like,
Right.
could we just like summarize that or something? Do we have to
Yeah,
like?
it needs to be sorted out a little bit better. And
It was the way the discussion went. That part is accurate.
Do we have to go into that much detail though of exactly what we said? I mean, isn't that what the recording's for, or do we need the minutes too? I mean, can we just say we talked about the school
Yeah,
emergency
yeah, 'cause
plan and leave it at that? Or
all the
do we have
details
to-
are there, but it jumps around.
Yeah, well,
But
I guess
that's
we
how the
were
conversation
jumping
went.
around, yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
the conversation went.
Yeah, it's just very lengthy.
Correct. I know that Nancy would like it to be a shorter version.
Yes, it's very well written, just thankfully.
So I don't see any inaccuracies in what's reported, and since it's ready to go this time as is, I think we should, I will check into how much detail is required.
Yeah, I don't know if we
And,
could just say that we discussed it and
When they
you
had.
guys requested a copy.
Right, when they, had done the discussion where you came to, with the town lawyer, doing a
Mhm.
presentation about meetings and so forth. That level was not really brought up, so
Yeah.
I'll look into that,
Yeah.
make that my assignment, please.
I'm doing that
But as far as the accuracy of what is written here, it is very accurate.
now. Yes.
Yep.
It's all
It is.
inclusive, so,
Yep.
but with it being recorded, do we need to, go to that detail? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, so we just kinda say what topic was discussed and what we decided.
Yes, or if there's, 2 or 3 bullet points out of all of that, that should,
Yeah.
and maybe we need as a group to emphasize the bullet points, so that that's all that needs to be recorded in the written minutes.
Do we need underneath number 12, Judy States where you're doing a fabulous
Sure.
job?
Yes, where- what is it?
For this minutes, and everything that
Really?
has happened, I think we're okay. Would you rather that be left out?
Well,
It's in the video.
whatever.
Okay. So I make a motion
Whatever.
that the minutes be approved as written. Lori,
And second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Do you have a copy for me to sign?
It's just
Yep. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is, COVID-19 flu Maven update. Do you have any Maven report, Judy?
No, it's been kind of on the quiet side, but I do know that COVID is kicking around and it's highly infectious, so if one person in a family gets it, it's going to run right through the family. So, people need to be testing and they need to be getting their COVID boosters, if they have any kind of, medical or age, they're older. CHC has clinics for COVID shots, on Wednesdays from 11 to 3 p.m. And if it's walk-in and, they'll take anybody,
from when?
11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
Is that in the South Gardner site?
Yep.
Okay, cause there's 2 Gardner sites. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, on the South Gardner site.
Okay.
Just walk in.
Where's the official one?
And you don't have to be a patient for that either.
No.
Anybody. So So I talked to Raya today, or I emailed Raya today, and she requested more COVID kits. So I had asked Nancy to bring it, so I'm gonna take that box to her.
Sure.
I can't do it tomorrow now, so I'll take it to her on Thursday. She had a few more. She said right now with COVID, they have 1 staff with it and 2 students with it. Strep, there was 5 new cases in the last 2 days, and they now today have 2 RSV cases. So, yeah,
I
How
also-
many hours?
2.
I asked about RSV vaccinations too while I was putzing around today. And they said the RSV vaccinations are very hard to get, so.
Yeah, and you have to be over 60, I think they said.
Or some medical condition.
Yeah,
You
if they
know,
like.
even the hospital was being very scarce about it. They were being very selective about their inpatients as to who gets it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but that's the status on that.
Okay, good to know that the RSV vaccine is very limited availability. So you may or may not be able to get it.
And I attended the MPH virtual meeting.
Yes.
That emergency one that they had,
Correct.
and that was, because they're having, 6 cases of Hep A, in the Boston area. So that was why they, called the emergency meeting. So they decided to kind of just fill everybody in. It's in the greater Boston area. 5 of the cases were homeless people. 4 were injection drug users. So they know the risk, the high risk groups. And these people were all in the high risk group, but they're still, I guess they had an outbreak in 2018 of Hep A. I don't know if you remember that. But in 2018, they had 563 cases.
Wow.
So they're trying to nip this in the bud, so they're coming up with some clinics in the greater Boston area for this.
For vaccinating.
They're targeting syringe service programs, homeless shelters, substance abuse treatment centers, urgent cares, and correctional facilities for the vaccines for Hep A. Because
Okay.
it doesn't seem like it's not like it's, people are eating in a restaurant and getting Hep A, it's more those other high-risk groups. So that was what the emergency meeting was all about.
Okay.
And then I did the MPHN one, that was the local Board of Health one. That was the local Board of Health emergency meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Then I attended the MPHN meeting on 12/6. Did anybody else do that one?
I wasn't able to, I was out of town.
Okay, so Victoria's also the one that ran our clinic. Huh?
Yeah, the one who ran our clinic.
Yeah, she said they're done for the year, and that they might be involved in some of the Hep A shelter, vaccinations in Fitchburg and Leominster, but for now they're done with their COVID and, flu
Okay.
clinics, so they're not gonna be doing that anymore. And they were talking about a lead poisoning, pilot program for children, and that they were going to find, children that were identified through a primary care office and follow them up, so like give them home care and follow their lead numbers and stuff. So it's a pilot program in the state right now.
Correct.
So that's, was all with that, and then they were talking about the, Public Health Excellence Grant. We don't have that, right? That's not
No,
part
it
of
goes
Hubbardston.
to them.
It goes to a regional
Yeah.
health
Okay.
group only,
Alright.
and that's what that's about.
Alright,
That's one of their main sources of funding.
Right.
alright. They were talking about revising the IMAs to specify regional services, insurance coverage, kind of stuff, and Phil Ledger was on, he was not happy about that.
If Phil's not happy, then
But
there's a
it-
reason for it.
It's nothing that's
No.
been completely done. And then today, at 3:00, there was another local Board of Health webinar. Anybody else attend? No? Is anyone else getting these emails other than me?
I'm getting them on commuting at that time.
Okay, all right, because I'm like, oh my
Forward
God.
it to me on the local, because I did not see an email for that
The
one.
local Board of Health ones?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't come through as they should, but
So if you
they
get
let's
it,
kindly
Laura, I would
repeat what
appreciate you
Maven
forward
does.
it.
Okay. they're not having another one until after, New Year's, I think.
Sure,
So.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, so this was the last one,
Okay.
you know, before the holidays.
So if you get that, forward that email.
Yeah,
when
the
you
one
get
on
it.
Maven today was going back over some core functions of the Maven system, so I ignored that one.
Correct.
And this one was, they started off talking about mosquito stuff, and that it's over for the year because they've had the hard frost, no kidding. And that they're talking about next year's stuff, but I had heard there was a case of something in, was it California? Eastern Equine or something, and I'm like, I guess it's still warm enough there for them to have that. But anyway, not around here. Then they jumped to the workforce standards and waiver requests. So I guess they're gonna, it said it's required for all local boards of health, not just for excellence grants recipients. So everyone's gonna have to do that, and the slides are gonna come out. I can forward you guys all the slides once they come out if you don't get them.
Mhm.
They're gonna send out the whole thing, but it's like, you know, you talked about it before, those, standards where any public health nurse has to be a BSN, has to have her RN, like they've come up with things, and I wasn't sure how that was gonna affect
It's not,
the nursing position for the town.
it's
No?
not, because we're gonna require that. That's part of the
Are you
requirement.
requiring a BSN? Oh, I thought you had somebody that was an LPN
Yeah,
or.
we had said we would accept an LPN.
But it's not written in the
it's-
description.
Okay, cause
It's
the
not written
new,
in the
these new,
What they made, my understanding is the guidelines, I mean, the town, if the town wants to override it, the town can override it.
I don't know, they just said they were standards for everyone and that you have to get a
They're
waiver.
still working on them.
So you can send in a waiver and
Mhm.
request a waiver, like if we already had a public health nurse and she was an LPN, and then, so
Mhm.
then we'd have to request a waiver.
Sure.
But I think then she'd have to be working towards her BSN. And that way they would grant the waiver, is what they were saying.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's like, that's
Um,
a hospital standard too.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they are moving towards that. Not everything is in place yet with that, but they're definitely pushing it. They're definitely pushing it. And then I think the last thing they talked about was a health at home webpage, that's called, it's healthathome/mass.gov. It's brand new, it's out from a portion of the AG's office, and they want all the towns to post that on their pages, so that people have access to it. It's environmental health issues, like the topics would be lead, asbestos, noise, drinking water, mold and water damage, and then there's something on legal assistance, so like how to file a complaint with the state. There was something on odors, there was something like, so it's supposed to be very informational. And they requested that all the towns post this on their website.
Would you tell us again what that site is?
I'm sorry,
Health at
Health
Home.
at Home,
Health at Home,
it's /mass.gov. And it's a-
/.
yes,
They were supposed to have put out like a resource page too, similar to this.
yes, it's on there. There is also a resource page.
So, resources so that if you were like a resident and you were looking for an agency or something like that, could help them out.
That's
There was-
included, it's in there too.
It's supposed to be connected, but then it
Yeah.
suddenly disappeared, so I haven't found it since, so
Alright, well, the
is that gonna be
slides,
connected?
yes,
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
the
the slides
slides
showed
will
it,
help.
the slides showed it, yep.
Okay,
So it was like connecting you to all the links for the state and for local stuff too.
local stuff too,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep,
It was well done when I saw it, and then it didn't, and it went poof, and I couldn't find it again.
yeah, so I don't know, I mean, this is all like brand new stuff and it's all just coming out, so
Mhm.
who knows if it's, you know, completely up and running, maybe there's sections of it that are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
doing well. But
Yeah.
anyway, so those were the three, virtual meetings I attended since our last meeting.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you very much for
Yep.
doing that.
Good
Yep.
job.
Appreciate
That was a
it
lot of
very
work.
much.
Well, I'm trying to do the NIM 700, I'm like, I can't do both of these at the same time. Got my phone and got my laptop, I'm like, oh.
No, thanks, right?
No.
Okay, next we have Title V reports and perk tests. We have 23 Gordy Lane, which passes.
They're selling that for $460,000. It's a
Really?
It's a tiny ranch.
I was just
Not
on
even a full
Peabody
basement.
Lane looking at the house that had all the lights out.
All right, I'm passing that one around to
It's my
everybody to
house.
look
It's
at.
your house? Very
Next,
good.
we have
I thought that was
28
cool.
Abenaki Street. Where is Abenaki Street?
I think it's Pinecrest,
Oh,
right?
one of
Because
those.
they have, and isn't it Abenaki?
Ah, is this
Without the-
before your house?
Oh, maybe it is.
Right, no N.
So my
No
house is
R.
kind of at the
No R.
beginning, you have to
No
go
R.
all the way around the corner, and the
Oh.
house is on the.
Abenaki.
Okay.
It's a marriage, and it's just toys.
Just like mine, which is only worth 260.
They're selling it for $460.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so we need,
Your
so this one
road
has
definitely needs
issues
to
that
be
needs
repaired.
to be
Yes.
repaired.
Dogwood North is worse than Jordan.
Wow.
They did just come around to put regrind in all the holes, but it's just coming out loose.
Yes. The road is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Heard on the Facebook site.
Dogwood North, Dogwood South, and Jordan are just.
Drove down it and the car goes boom, 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 boom,
It
boom,
only
boom,
ever
all the way
got,
down.
the developer only ever put one coating
Layer.
of tar. It never got finished. It never got completed. So you can imagine after 25 years what it looks like.
It's not
So
even a
this,
road.
the problem
No.
with, 28 Abenaki, oh, it's spelled with an R up here. Anyways,
I'll check it.
Well,
Is
the, like,
that
native
they-
name is
they
Abenaki.
need a,
It's the box.
their,
there's the
looks like their
D-box.
septic tank
Okay, so where's the
Not-
lines?
discharging properly to the leach
Or
field.
did they do one, on mine, they did do a longitudinal, did they do a yeah, they did. See, the lines go out this way,
It's the back of the house, the land drops.
All right.
yeah,
Drops way off.
yeah.
Okay, so we're going
That's
to
what they did.
pass that one around a little.
Ooh,
What is that?
whatever it is, it's not good.
It passed though.
Can't wait to see it.
And maybe it's just the black and white photo.
Yeah.
It passed.
It's showing where they dug to look at it.
Okay.
And in black and white, the way it was printed, it doesn't look good at all. It
No.
looks like a problem.
Yeah, a big problem.
Yeah. On the second page,
That's
towards
the
the bottom where it
D-box?
says the tank and leach field are not draining properly.
Showing signs of corrosion.
So, yeah, so that,
So then we have to replace the tank.
right, there's gonna be that and possibly piping on both sides, the way I read it. So that's
So-
why,
So we're not signing off on this one, because it.
just that we reviewed it.
Okay. So then
And
they
that-
have to make the repairs and.
Right, once the repairs are complete, everything will be okay.
And I think the fire chief is like that. Yeah, that's,
This one?
yeah, for the repair.
Yep, they've already made the deposit to go ahead and do repairs. So they're on their way.
Oh, yeah, you can see the corrosion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So then this basically says
Yeah,
that
okay.
they
I'll make sure it's on.
replacement of 1,000 gallon precast single compartment tank.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is 26 Natty Pond Drive. It's an, application for a perk test. Because the septic is failing per the owners, it feels that the septic is in need of repair. So they did another perk test, application to just go ahead and do the job. They have visual confirmation or whatever.
Okay.
The owner has decided it needs to be replaced. They're stepping up and doing what needs to be happening, so
Okay.
this is a perk test.
So they're parking to see where they're gonna put the new one.
Yes.
So they're not gonna try and dig it out, they're just
Whenever,
picking
the
another
plans
spot.
will come in, but this is the notice for the perk test. And I think the first text is right behind it, right?
No, that was a septic pump, I
Oh.
just printed that, just
Got
got it
it.
in the file.
Got it, it's ready to go.
Okay.
She's so efficient, she's got everything ready to go.
Always puzzles me why some septic systems will keep on going forever without problems, while others fail in 10
I
years.
wonder if a lot of it's the soil.
Soil, yes,
Unused.
And
The-
maybe the water too, cause if some water is more
Oh, yeah.
corrosive than others.
so
other
if
water
some more,
or something,
yeah, cause
you
we
know?
do have, issues of iron and manganese in
Right.
this town, so
Yeah.
those kinds of things, I'm sure affect, the water, the, septic systems.
Some of these systems fail and they're like in newer neighborhoods, it's like, no.
Well, there were
What is
different
going on?
standards at different
Mhm.
times for the thickness and
Or
the type of piping that was
builders.
used.
Right. Yeah.
Some of it has to do with the standards at that time and the thickness of the tanks and the type of piping that was used.
So what does it mean to conditionally pass? They didn't really pass? They have to
Correct.
do something first?
They have to do the repairs,
Do the
and they're
And they-
acknowledging that.
Okay.
Basically looks like they already replaced it, right?
They're in the process.
If you wanna sign off
I
on
know, I had a
these.
sister
Yeah,
in
this
New Hampshire.
one's gonna just
It
say
was
reviewed.
above
Yeah,
ground, so
but
they
that's
built
what I
it
mean,
up.
but just so
You know,
that
we went
in
in
this
5
one,
years and
if
failed
they
and
did
we sold
reveal
it.
Yeah,
It was
Yep.
working
Need all of
fine.
these
Yeah,
to
but
sign.
But then what they had to test the thing,
Pile
they
these.
failed, and we were like,
Really?
okay, after 5 years.
And then the
Yeah.
last one
And
That's
the one
what I-
across the street, the same
is
thing.
what I'm saying.
193 Williamsville Road, Title V failed, and they've already, put in for their, application for a new perk. And I haven't looked at this at all. And again, it's saying that there was a backup of sewage and discharge of effluent was not the way it should be. This again is 193 Williamsville Road. See if they put any pictures in. No pictures. Describes where everything is. Okay. Passing that one around for review. I'll sign it off as a review only, okay?
Current application.
That's
know
just a
picture.
septic pumping record,
Oh.
I would sign this somewhere that
Cesspool?
Looks like a fifth
Okay.
grader drew that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's one reason why it failed. Yeah. These
10
are
by
illegal.
10 by 10,
They're illegal.
10 by 10 by 10?
Cute.
Cute.
Size of the house. I mean, a roof, you get a roof. Yeah.
Rescue thing,
They,
trying to sell.
they ruled them out a long time ago, way long,
Must be trying to sell.
50s or 60s or something, they would put this. So that house is old.
The next item is a water well test. While I'm signing papers here.
surprised they have any lots left over there.
And those were
Is that
Phil's
the one we
recommendations.
talked
This
about
is one
before?
that we
Is that the one that sits on that little corner?
Yeah, Phil's suggested.
We'll just
Turn it
pass
into a
this
little
part
house.
around.
Yeah.
Okay.
That water part.
Okay, and then
Well, the
what,
ones
Yeah,
that
and I
we're
can just
combining
you would
lots
sign
of
that
it.
too.
So here are the
Yeah.
pages from the we're not gonna pass the whole folder around, it's not
No.
necessary. This
Okay.
is, there was issues with the water test and an email went through and, what Phil, our sanitarian, recommended.
And they probably
Yes.
put a
Water,
filter in.
Run the water.
No, yeah, we test for covering iron.
Treatment system, everybody in Hubbardston has treatment systems.
just about.
Except me.
Iron.
I'm sitting on top of an aquifer. I got the best water in town.
Yay.
And I will never run out.
You're lucky.
Fails EPA primary, fails EPA secondary. So that was this one and then.
Yes, those, yeah.
Okay.
Did they decide
That
to
just
put a
fails
filter
EPA
in, or
secondary.
did they just decide
That's Phil's recommendation.
to put the filter in?
Yeah.
Otherwise, a whole year appliances, the
Well,
dishwasher,
never
the
mind that,
washing
it's not
machine.
really good health to swallow a lot of iron either.
A lot of people just have like Polar Springs, they drink bottled water or out of a thing,
Yeah.
and they don't drink the tap water anyway.
But then you read reports about
When we
Polar
needed a new-
Springs and all that, they're,
When we need a new
PFAS.
filter, you can
They've
see
got,
the color of the water.
mineral problems as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's filtered water and everything, it's
Well,
clean
we hope
water.
it is.
But,
But, yeah,
it's clean and.
How do you really
That's-
know?
I was driving back to Worcester today and they turned on that PFAS, Zoom call or webinar,
Yeah.
whatever it was. And they were talking about bottled water having PFAS in it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You did that already.
That is a huge problem. That is
Yeah.
a huge
That's the
problem.
water test.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay, we're
Have it
almost
in our
finished.
system.
Yeah.
And we
Bad,
have the
and it's
elderly
look,
housing
they're
order.
waiting
What
to all
is it,
kinds of health
40,
issues.
48.
48 Gardner Road.
This is the one that,
Alcoholic fatty
remember?
liver.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ton of people have, and
So
they're
she was
like,
getting
why,
it
I
from,
eat really good food, blah, 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 I don't drink
Which
alcohol.
was-
Guess what? It's the PFAS.
Saturday.
There's a whole bunch of stuff there tying it to.
are they, is it confirmed research or
Yes.
Friday.
still
Yeah.
preliminary?
No,
They've
Saturday
been doing
was the
research now for years. I feel bad for those people in Westminster that had
Oh,
Okay.
that was bad.
So this
So
was a
much
little
in their
bit back and
wells.
Yeah.
forth with
Right.
people.
horrible,
And
horrible.
from what I understand,
That was,
in this top part,
And that was
there
a
was
section.
to explain.
Well, and if you live on
It sounds like we don't really have to do everything.
Border,
Correct.
you're not that far from Westminster.
no,
Although it was over by Fitchburg side,
right,
Montauk,
All right.
it's still.
Okay.
Those underground miles.
yeah,
At 48
Gardner Road.
Gardner Road, there is a system in that is a fast system, and their, reports had come in already before that a blower alarm triggered a service call, the blower needs to be
Mhm.
replaced, so on and so forth. And at this point, as of 12/9, everything was going to be repaired and pumped. And all I'm going to say is that we're just gonna review that this is still ongoing until we get the final confirmation that the system is operating properly. So we're just, that's just the whole packet. And again, we've talked about this
Okay, I remember
before
this,
with the,
yeah.
and with the blower and so on and so forth. And
Yeah.
so we're just noting that we're keeping up on the review, that it's still not complete because we don't have the report showing that everything was done as was.
Yeah, it
that
says the
it
blower,
determined.
the blower
Right.
was replaced, but they still haven't had, as far as we know, pumped it.
It was scheduled for last Friday,
It
but we
was
haven't
scheduled for
gotten the
last Friday.
report.
We don't have confirmation.
Right,
Okay.
so we're just a
And we
quick
wouldn't
pass
get it
through.
that quick.
Oh,
So it's
okay,
just a
yeah.
quick thing that, to pass around, to know that it's still being worked on, and
There's nothing in this packet, same packet?
Yes.
Basically,
It is, it's
yeah.
just my
Yeah.
correspondence with them as well.
right.
Do you wanna just sign that that's for 5 Navajo for the one, just that we reviewed it?
Yes, this is the, water test, results, that showed that there was iron and color apparent,
Yeah,
on
we
5
already said
Navajo.
that. We
And
already
Yes,
said
yeah,
that.
that already went
understand.
around.
Yeah.
So I'm just signing off on that
Correct.
we reviewed it,
Yeah,
okay?
sounds like they're putting a system in anyway.
Yeah, this way, there's always a record, and you're very good about making sure I don't miss them, that we've actually reviewed these things in our meetings by me signing it. And then whoever is chair in the future would have to make sure that we sign off.
Is
It's
that a
ju-
hint?
I got another couple years, it's okay. No worries. Okay, next we have the Hubbardston Elderly Housing wastewater reports from July, August, and September. Let's pass them around. The first couple pages are saying the system's working. The last page shows the numbers.
TSSTKN, that just a bunch of initials, usually wouldn't do that.
Well, if something was wrong, it would come back. All kinds of. The board of directors would be notified that there's insufficient code.
Right.
Then
So if the limit is 5 and they found 109, isn't that outside of the?
They actually don't have the recommended, oh, yeah,
They do, but there's a line through it, but then the result, detection limit, and the result, right?
yeah.
So if the limit is 4 and they found 34, I don't
Right.
know, I don't know.
4 is, that's when they can actually, the test will detect it.
Okay, so we don't know, so
So-
this, we'd need this column to be able to tell.
Pick up
Right,
a couple of
So we
not
don't know.
abnormal. Everything's equal or abnormal here.
They're all just, it's a different type of report because it's for the wastewater. So if it has any issues, then it will, those are the methods that they use to test it all and what they found. And none of them are above the normal limits, or otherwise it would be in the front of the report immediately. The way wastewater goes, it's different for the regular water reports. It makes me confused every time I look at them.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Just to keep things going, we have, permits, and these are for 2024.
Yes.
All of these?
Yes.
So the other two?
Jeez.
Yeah, they got crossed.
Oh, well, which one?
one each month.
Okay.
Yeah, and board of directors would be notified immediately, so, and I haven't gotten anything from them in a long time.
Alright,
Wanna be on the board of
so
directors?
the
Once a year,
Um,
once a year, that's all.
permits for 2024 for septic haulers, waste trash haulers, and that have all gone out. Nancy has told me that next week, we can expect the permits for all the food things to go out, and, we're giving them a month to get them back in. Which will be, hopefully a majority will come in before our, January 12th meeting, is that when? the date? Whatever that is.
January 9th.
9th. Hopefully a bunch of them will come in before then, if not,
Some are coming in on their own, like one
Correct.
crossed in the mail.
Yep.
You know, so
so,
I think they're just gonna just send some of them in.
some people will send them in anyhow, correct, but other people, it's always been our custom to remind them to bring them in and attach a letter, what they paid, and so on and so forth. And in that regard, we have Scotty's Potties, Ronald Sprasky's American Sewage and Septic, installers, Allen Site Work, installer, Integrity Site Development, the owner is Sam Harvey. And we have, installer Jake Petty's JPC Septic, and, so, everything's in order on these, right, Nancy?
Correct.
So,
Receipts are all in the back.
right, so we can go ahead and start signing. I'm signing this stuff. I'll sign all these on the correct spot, when they come back around.
This, little one looks like a different form. Is this
I
a new
know.
one?
I think he printed, I don't know where that came from, but it could be just a general form, I don't know. Does it have the Hubbardston seal in it? It does, it could be an old one.
This one's different too.
Jeez, that's a terrible signature. Okay.
This thing's an open because it only has 3 slots.
They're all different.
You got voted off the other ones?
No. It's when the board used to be 3 members, not 5.
Oh, wow, where did they find that one?
I don't know.
Okay. That is an old one.
And this one's different too. Or is it just different, I didn't blue?
Yeah, it's mostly because the way they,
No, it's different form. But this is a commercial refuge.
yes.
It's different than this.
Yes, it is. one's still looks, we should check the website and see if this is still what's
We
up
need to
there.
update forms. In our spare time.
I know.
Can I go back to the vaccine thing just for a second?
Sure.
I talked to Victoria, and I talked to Claudia over at the senior center and said, hey, can you put out some feelers, see if any of the seniors wanna do a clinic here, you know, during the week, during the day, you know, so at some point in early December, and I came back and checked in with her in about a week and a half, and she goes, well, we've been really busy with the Christmas stuff, but no, I don't think anybody wants one. So I just reached out to Victoria and said, no more vaccine clinics for Hubbardston for this year, it's late, you know, most of the seniors got them months ago.
Mhm.
Correct.
September.
Yeah, so I told her no, well, we were all set.
As soon as
Wonderful.
the word comes out,
Yeah.
that's available.
It's available,
They're
yeah.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, open septic plans engineering plan review.
This was another one I found that I don't think
I just got mine today.
the board ever.
Really?
Yeah.
It was signed off
Went down to
here,
our doctor's office.
and I couldn't see it.
And
it was-
now it's up for something new.
No,
Is it
I just
germ
haven't,
facing?
there's a lot of them I still have to go through.
Correct, it's
I know.
it's in that stack.
Everywhere now.
So
I don't know if it, I couldn't find it, the board signed off on it, so I just brought it in.
And PH. And, told another nurse that they don't use MRC because they have to be
who
trained.
signed off on that?
I have no idea. With the, it looks like an S at the end, that was
And, and this nurse was like, huh?
Did the driller sign off on it
It was before I
accidentally?
was
Said it to
2021.
another MRC coordinator, and she said,
And this was which
what?
month?
She said 13 times it covered her district. And I said, excuse me?
Hey, they don't wanna use a really good resource, and that's their problem. And, you
Tim
know,
Newton was the one
Well,
that
I
was.
Well,
I
they're
was-
paying those nurses that did our clinic.
Right, well, he signed
They're
off
paying
on
them.
it.
Right, they're paying the big bucks too.
Oh, well, that's another thing I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
Yeah.
Am I allowed to interject again before my brain forgets?
go right ahead.
Another vaccine clinic thing. So,
Okay.
you remember that there were the 2 children there and the dog? At the clinic, right?
Yes,
So it was one of the nurses' children and dog.
yes.
So I got a complaint from Erin Cook, the principal at Hubbardston Central School, that there was a dog there, and she was shocked that the Hubbardston Board of Health allowed a dog in a vaccine clinic. It was not a service animal. Small. It was a small dog. It was on a leash.
Oh, I
controlled.
remember seeing the dog,
Yeah.
actually, now that you say that.
But apparently her daughter, who she had brought, you know, her whole family there for
Right, for vaccination.
was afraid of the dog, and they were like, oh, you know, because she was getting scared of the shot, and they were like, oh, well, why would you have the dog? They were trying to distract her, and it only made her more upset. And she said they were taking the dog behind the, like up on the stage behind the curtain thing, and she was afraid it was gonna go to the bathroom up there, and basically she just didn't want a dog in the building.
Correct.
That was not a service animal. So, I had to call up Victoria and tell her that we'd had a complaint and tell her what it was, and she goes, yeah, I figured it was gonna be the dog. I said, you know, yeah, it's one thing that she couldn't get childcare, and number one, she showed up wicked late. This one, she kept leaving to walk the dog outside and go out to her car and back, and it was a pretty busy vaccine clinic. Yeah, and they were paying her. And
Big bucks.
yeah, and then the dog and the kid, I mean, it wasn't disruptive, it wasn't horrible, but I can see,
I
you know,
bet it
where
was
the principal of the
unnecessary.
building was like, didn't really appreciate having the dog there for a couple of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Victoria, she goes, okay, well, thanks for the feedback, and, what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
that I wasn't, not gonna say anything to them,
Right.
people complained, they needed to know, and
Right.
she shouldn't have brought it up.
This house is built, remember?
But, I don't know, was that
Kathy,
our
I
bad for
asked
not
them.
saying anything at the time?
We weren't
No.
running the clinic.
We weren't
I
running
just
She
the
wasn't
clinic.
our
that
employee,
wasn't-
you know?
Yeah, I guess, but it was,
I
we
can
were
check, but-
hosting it,
Yeah.
we were,
Well,
and Kathy and I were both there.
Well, what were the options though, to say, you can't have the
She
dog
could've-
here and then she
could've
had
put
to leave?
She could've put the dog out in the car,
Yeah,
right? It wasn't a hot day, it was,
Yeah. so maybe we did have a responsibility, right?
no,
No.
they chose to run the clinic.
Yeah, they
They-
sent us home before they even closed up
Yeah.
everything, so,
So, yeah.
They chose to run the
So
clinic.
in
And there
this
was a
particular
site
case-
coordinator, right?
Oh,
that's
Yes,
all we did,
Victoria,
is
That
the
was-
site
so was
and get the
her.
information.
All
Yeah.
we did was give them a space.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, if she didn't have childcare or dog care that night, then she shouldn't have come, I, they had 2 other nurses, there were 3 total giving shots, so,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Has somebody else come?
If you wanna hold that.
They
I
weren't
can
keen on
check
doing an
that.
evening,
Yeah.
they wanted to do a during the day, because,
Okay.
Right.
who wants to work in the evening? But I thought it was a little odd, she
I'm
was,
surprised they were okay with that.
that Victoria was okay
Yeah.
with the dog being there. I see
Okay.
dogs everywhere now, I don't even think twice about it, they're in Walmart, I
That's-
was at the 110, the grill,
Yeah.
in Athol the other day, there was a husky sitting right behind my chair. A service dog, mind you,
Do you need
but
a
a
note for
big
yourself or yes?
husky.
No, I put it right here.
Hairy
Okay.
husky.
Yes.
All right, moving on.
Sorry.
While you were finishing that, I was reviewing,
I digress.
53 Barry Road. Not a single thing was reviewed by the Board of Health in 2021. It was a new construction, we don't even know if the house has been built. So
Or
we're
where
gonna-
it is.
Exactly where it is, so we're gonna put off on hold doing a post-construction review.
How'd you find that?
It's in the files, there are others too, I'm sure.
And it was not,
I just have, as I
So when
find
so
things,
what-
I'm
yeah.
bringing them in.
what was the date on this one?
On what?
10/22. Okay.
We're not
So
even,
somebody's-
you're not even sure the house was built?
One, there's
Nothing was signed off on.
there's no certificate of completion,
Right.
so it's an
But it
incomplete.
could be,
It
because
could
it could be in Laserfish.
Oh, in one of those stacks of, yeah.
No, it could be scanned in.
Oh,
This
right.
is just from a file, so
Right.
it could be, this
So we're
house
gonna
could
hold
be
off on
complete.
Oh, so you didn't look it up
Complete.
on the system?
No, I just saw this and, no, I didn't.
And it
Okay.
didn't have all the paperwork.
It does
Right,
not have all
does
the
not have it,
paperwork
and
in
it's
it.
not signed off on from Board of Health.
So I.
The
So
engineer
we're
signed
gonna
off
find
on it?
out that house has been there for 25 years.
Yes,
Yeah,
Tim Nick
and
did
it's-
sign
it-
off on it.
Signed off.
Somebody signed.
But we
Yeah.
never saw it.
Nope, oops.
53 is fairly far down the road though.
So someone's just gonna like
53,
drive down there
About
and
halfway, I think.
Yeah.
see what
Yeah.
kind of building is there?
In my spare time, I'm driving to
And
53
then
Berry Road.
trying to figure out.
They've just updated all the Google images. Oh, I bet there's a street view
Oh,
picture.
yeah,
Mhm.
Google image, thank
My
you.
house looks very different than it did in the old ones.
Okay, for Elm Street, we have a, septic repair. And they did it in perk, and
I should have taken those out. Take those out of that envelope if it's easier.
And we had done all of this, but you're bringing this forward again because I just need to.
You signed it, but
Oh,
they
yes.
didn't sign it. They
That's
didn't-
right.
They
They
didn't
were
read
moving
it.
forward with, I forget what I
Because
just
they
did
need
last
it.
week.
They needed it.
They were moving forward to potentially close pending the septic,
This.
this.
Right.
And, I did sign off of it on the 7th, but we had not brought it to the board. So that, here it is. I everybody can get a copy to look at it. What you're looking at in this small page is all the large pages of the plan shrunk and
Onto that front page.
onto that front page, which Phil, of course, he looked at everything and he signed off on it. And so therefore, he said the plan was good. And I went through and looked at the large diagrams to make sure it matched the small ones, and everything looked according to plan. And so I did sign off on it, just so that they could keep things moving.
So we don't need to sign anything.
That's 53 Berry Road.
Did you wanna say that?
This house sold so quickly.
Is that all signed out?
Well, it's all trees. How do we
And
know
it's
it?
collapsing.
Oh, so they never really did anything with it, okay. So we may not
That
wanna.
was stuck with it.
Oh, okay, so this is just
That's
all for,
the neighbor?
Because
Yeah,
they're
that's
gonna
the
go
house.
so far, so.
So, okay, so now that you've all
Was
just
this a new
checked it,
build, or was it just
and I will sign off
They never
if
did
it's
anything with
approved
it.
at the board.
53 Berry Road?
While I'm
Stack of
signing,
wood?
what's
No,
next?
No, it's just light on building.
Mhm.
Okay, next is all me, hang on.
That's the road and driveway.
Shadow of the car taking the picture.
Are you ready to sign?
That's not, that almost looks like it's the house beside it. Is that a building right there?
They have houses down there like $500,000 on Berry Road because there's so much land attached to each house. But this one came up as 53.
It says 2 months ago, but that was from 2021.
We've probably all driven by it 1,000 times.
Yep, sure.
Okay,
Perfect.
Or Elm Street.
That was the repair.
perfect. Oh, wait, what's that? My minutes, never mind. Okay, under old business, on the nursing position, Judy presented, at the select board meeting last week, our job description. And, today, in a meeting with Nate, he asked for, and the select board has asked for, how this is gonna be funded and how it's gonna be paid. So I wrote up the first draft today, this afternoon,
I read it. Was
Eh.
okay.
and I forwarded it to Nate and Judy. She happened to be at the meeting also. I guess you were meeting with Nate for something else earlier.
Emergency management.
For emergency, so she was already in the room when I arrived. So, we were there, and, so I put together a draft, and if it looks okay to Nate, or he makes any other comments, cause I've never done anything like this in any of the years I've been on the board, or any other board, so I said, I'm open to all comments, and if it gets looking good, Nate thinks it's gonna look all right, then I'll be at the next select board meeting next week. And then we can move forward with, presenting it for their approval, and then begin advertising, for the position. And,
They were comfortable with the job description.
yes, they were comfortable with the job description, the way it was written. Okay, so keeping moving on, cause
One
we're.
step forward.
Yeah.
Section 1 of the Community Septic Program Betterment Loan for approval.
That was just that, that I had sent everybody,
Oh, the email.
that you, yes, so I don't know if you want, that's the paperwork for it.
What were you looking for? Were
You
you
would
looking for
just
the interest rate or something? Is that?
No, you would just to approve that these forms are okay, that's what this is for.
So this is to.
Cause I know the last one, we were looking for the interest rate from the person that,
It's gonna be 5%.
okay. All right.
Much better than I would have expected.
Yeah, right now?
Yeah.
So, just anybody remember if there's any other comments on the form,
These are the ones you emailed?
Yes,
Yeah.
the forms as they are?
because in case we have another, which we will, I'm sure, have another
Yeah.
one.
So she's taken time to update and create
Mhm.
a package. We
Yeah.
now have a modern package, not one from the
1990 when it
1990s.
was first established.
So this is, and it was based on which towns?
Templeton.
Templeton's
She's been very helpful,
Oh, yeah.
program,
really helpful.
cause every town has this
That's
in some.
Ellie.
Laurie?
Oh, okay. Sometimes, I think sometimes she goes by Elle.
I don't know her that well.
Yeah,
You will, though,
I
right?
know.
yeah. She's nice.
So again, these are just, in general, how we're gonna be able to do this moving forward for the next decade.
Yeah, what we had before worked okay for us.
It did work for a while, but, you know, things
Yeah.
change, so.
I'm
Was
just
here,
glad
there, and
I'm just,
everywhere.
I'm just glad it's continuing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's 20-something years we've been doing it.
It's nice.
I'm gonna put that on my tombstone. I brought the septic program to town.
That's perfect.
Got a nice ring to
You are
it.
welcome.
Yes.
That's what you put on there.
That's right, you're welcome.
They look okay to me.
Yeah, they
I'm
look
not-
fine.
So I make a
Good job.
motion that the
I had looked at
betterment
these
loan for approval forms, that we adopt those as the current forms to be used going forward from this time on. Seconded by Lori.
Sure.
Uh,
Judy, she wants to second it because it's her baby.
All right, Judy's,
Okay.
there you go. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Under food inspections, Rich Stevens is coming next week to do my residential kitchen inspection. And, the last one, fellow named Jeff on Cruise Road, I am doing his the same day. So everything has been inspected except for the second one for Rihanna Ranch. And in the letter going to them, they will get a credit for one inspection, cause they get 2 a year. And, the same thing goes for, the 2 campgrounds, because they both closed up completely before I could get to them. When I thought I could get to them, they were already closed and I didn't realize it. So they'll get credits against the fees that they pay in 2024. That's a courtesy policy that we followed before, and, with you guys okay, we'll just continue that policy. Okay? All right.
I can just put that on the agenda so I can, that's for the EDS setup drills.
Right, yes, Jamie, who, does the EDS setup drills, had wanted, November or December, would you guys take a look at when in January or February might be good dates for you guys to
Didn't we do March
meet?
last year?
January,
We-
February, for the EDS?
Yes,
We've talked about looking into doing a walkthrough for a drive-through,
it took all of 45 minutes last year, and we did it in March.
yes.
So, all I'm saying is,
She was suggesting something a little more this
Yeah.
year, I think. She was looking for more than just a walk through our,
yeah,
like we did last year.
Like what?
You didn't see the email
okay.
from her? She had some suggestions.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe we should
It's
consider.
coming down from
Yeah,
Well, it's coming from the state Department of Public Health.
Terry, right?
And also, so,
Terry, there was, so it came to all of us. Kathy, it says Kathy and two more on November 7th.
But
yeah.
that's
I
not,
probably have just forgotten.
that's okay. So all I'm asking is go home and before our next meeting, come up with a date at the end of January, a date in February, and a date in March.
And these are
or a
during
week.
the day, correct?
At the end of school usually, like 4:30, 4:00, something like that. And we've held it in the gym and we just do a walkthrough and she asks a few questions about, well, if you had this, what would you do? Kind of thing. So, it's still in motion and all I'm asking is that you,
what did you want? What did you?
is that we come up with a date
She was saying
once,
using it as a drive-through planning point,
Yeah.
or she could create a scenario that we could use to host a larger drill with multiple departments and request MRC volunteers.
I don't think to go to a larger drill because we don't have our current emergency disaster plan in effect. Do we? I mean, the COOP is what I'm thinking of,
Oh, you don't need the COOP for this. You just
Okay.
need our EDS plan,
which we have already.
which we have already.
Yeah, true. Okay, never mind.
She wanted to do it in November or December.
I'm confusing. COOP is the townwide emergency
that was
plan.
a crazy
with
question.
Yeah.
EDS, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm making them one and the
March.
same, they're two
November
different
7th.
animals.
I think we should do it in March.
Sorry about that.
Animals.
She
Yeah.
has to
Oh,
do
yes,
it.
we were notified.
If we were
That
doing
just
a
came in the
drive-through, we're
mail,
not
but
doing it in the
this,
winter.
We'll just walk through it, yeah.
So the dog that
Still.
I
got
never
bit
thought
was
about
from
that, but
Hubbardston.
there are a few problems with
He was
doing a
up to
drive
date for his
through.
rabies, so
Back up.
Okay.
it's just a
Road.
notification, and I
Mhm.
did send it to them,
We
to animal
could do
control.
a drive,
Good.
a
That's the email.
drive-through there, because you could come in the one
Okay.
side next to the school,
Just making
turn
every.
and come around and then go out.
Right.
I mean, it could,
You
and
guys,
there's plenty of
you
parking.
can plan on that later. We're
Mm.
trying to keep moving through this long agenda.
Well, it's
Um,
gonna have to be a drive-through.
Okay,
Suggest March.
okay, drive-through in March.
Is who's gonna contact her?
She's always writing to me, I'll write back to her.
Okay.
I actually have one in my cell
Yeah.
phone.
If you need
How
to look
often
up the
we
email.
talk.
You could respond to the email if you still have it, it's from
There we go,
November
I
7th.
made a note,
Yeah.
so you know what's
I-
going on.
Okay.
Okay, next is a dog bite notification. The dog that was bit was actually, from Hubbardston, and then, of course, just a note was sent, and Nancy notified the, animal control for Hubbardston, and the dog that, from Hubbardston that was bit, was up to had all its vaccines, so, vaccinations, so
So
we're,
one
it's
dog
just,
The
bit
dog was
another
bitten?
dog.
Correct.
Or
One-
did the dog bite someone?
One dog bit another dog,
correct.
Oh,
Correct.
okay.
yeah. A bite from dog to dog.
They didn't like each other, did they?
They have to report when one dog bites another dog. I
Oh,
didn't know
yes.
that.
Yes.
Because you have to, if they're not up to date on the vaccines, they have to quarantine them.
Quarantine.
Yes. And so, because that's a community health issue, we get notified as well. All right, the next is,
Yeah, what's that about?
That was just an email that I received that I sent to everybody.
That they're
right,
inactive?
right.
It looks like,
We have not used the color program since our clinic,
Oh, okay.
here in 2020. And so they're letting us know that we're inactive, and if you need help, email them.
Yeah.
Basically, is what I
We actually have a
understand.
class every Thursday to
And-
review it.
Right now, that's not part of our, scenario, so we just.
Do we need this to keep our EDS?
No,
No.
So we're just staying on inactive,
right.
and then if we do need the color program,
If
we
there's
just,
an anticipation, we can jump right back in.
yeah.
Okay.
We don't wanna not be part of it at all, in case some crazy scenario comes up again like it did in 2020.
Somebody just saying some incurable pneumonia cases are coming around. Somebody was saying something to me. I was like,
So that's what the,
What's that,
if you
like
had
another
seen or not seen,
pandemic or
there it is
something?
again.
I haven't heard any, I've heard
incurable
a lot
pneumonia.
of secondary pneumonias
Oh.
to flu and COVID, but I haven't heard any new
Yeah,
diagnoses.
or maybe even from RSV, right?
Yeah,
You could be left over with some pneumonia.
Right.
I don't know.
it's like my Sunday school child with the cough.
I don't know if it's a sign.
Yeah, we just had a teacher at the Covington Central School who came in saying she couldn't catch her breath and stuff, and listened to her lungs, horrible.
Horrible.
Sent her out, and she had pneumonia.
Mm.
And
I
then,
didn't know if you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, because we always talk about NIMS and ICS.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Lori, you're working on yours.
Yeah, I got
I haven't
ICS
started.
done.
Started either.
Huh. Ah, one more thing to do.
And I did, yeah, I did the ICS, I have not finished the NIMS, and I did the ethics training, cause I guess it had been 2 years. Like, oh my God. There's too much, you know, they really expect a lot, they really do. I'm sorry, but they, you know.
We're just little volunteers.
Man. A lot. And are these a once, one and done kind of things? The ICS and
yes.
NIMS? Oh, cause I had done them for the district, I probably could have just pulled out my certificates
Okay.
and, for the Gardner Public.
Yeah,
And
And
so,
submitted it.
if you all have the same email as I do, maybe we could, gee, while we're watching fireworks on New Year's Eve, I guess I can sit around and do it then.
It's so dry.
I get it.
Dry.
It's okay.
wait till you get into hazard mitigation.
No, I won't get into it, that's the
Okay.
promise.
So these are just like, these are just to show that I did them,
Yep,
if you wanna look at them.
so,
Do you need copies
Of what?
of the certificates? Has anybody asked?
for
okay.
ICS,
I know, not that I know of.
All right.
we probably should do
You
that.
thought you said Candace wanted it.
Well, this is the ethics.
This is the ethics training.
Yeah, that one is the ICS. That's ICS 100.
Oh,
So
I
that
don't
goes-
think,
So
I-
that should go in our EDS folder.
Yeah,
That should go
So
in the EDS.
we're
Okay.
keeping this and she's getting that? Okay, cause I want two of them.
Okay,
So
okay.
then-
So this goes.
I
to
want
Candace.
credit.
Yes, and that one goes
yeah,
into
yeah,
the
work
EDS
for it.
file. Book.
All right,
3.5
Notebook,
hours for
okay.
NIMS
It's
700?
getting late.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm
they
getting
was telling me.
tongue-tied.
Yeah.
And Nancy, did the 4 trash hauler applications for permits and the 19 installers. Okay. There's a new, and if you, they're all out. Then, new Massachusetts Behavioral Health
this
Line.
just came in today.
Oh, yeah, I read
You
Yeah.
read it?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like the state has started a new program and it has a helpline, and from the helpline, they then refer to 25 clinics, most of them are CSO clinics. So there's one in Athol and there's one in Gardner, there's a CSO.
The CHCs, the community health centers have, that was one of the reasons, that was part of what they built over by Walmart. They have a whole section for behavioral health now.
Yeah, and so does the other Gardner site, but this is not part of this, they're not hooked up with this. CSO is,
They're
but
getting all
CHC
kinds
is
of-
not, cause I said to my husband, why didn't they come to you guys and hook up with you, community health centers, that makes a lot more
Yeah.
sense, but they didn't. They contracted with CSO, so they man a 24/7 hotline, the behavioral health hotline, and you can call anytime and then they hook you up with
Oh.
resources,
Mhm.
so that's basically what it says. But
There's a lot of money coming
it's
into
CSO.
behavioral health
Yeah, from the
Yes.
state and from everywhere else.
from everywhere else.
Yep.
That's how CHCs
Oh,
are.
what'd
Yeah,
you
they got a
send
They're
grant,
me?
getting
they got a
federal
huge
money.
grant,
Yeah,
yes.
they're getting
Yeah.
federal
Yep.
monies.
Yep.
Don't.
It was just today I sent it.
Yeah,
I don't know that I
And it
got
may have
that
been
one.
just,
It was
I got it at 11:53.
this afternoon, yeah.
Okay, I may not have noticed.
The problem is though, is that these, CSO behavioral health providers are already swamped, they already like have backlog of people looking for therapy and counseling and all these things. So now there's this helpline and they're going to be referring more, they don't have enough providers for all these people. CHC has like 1,700 people on a list of people they can't see
Well-
yet. It's huge, they don't have the providers, they
Yeah.
just can't get them. They're offering $45 an hour to these behavioral health people and they can't even get anyone to sign up. It's a
Athol, for the
huge,
first time in
huge
3
backlog.
years, I sit in on a children's coalition, meeting once in a while, out of Athol, and, they were just saying just now that they finally had openings in their school program. After 3 years, I've been sitting on that meeting, on that committee for 3 years. This is the first time
Surprising.
they actually said.
Is that the virtual stuff that they're doing?
No, these are in school and
Oh, they're coming
in-house.
in
Yeah,
school,
and they're doing home visits and
Gardner
all
used
that.
to do that, now they're doing it all virtual. So they come down to the guidance office and they sit in front of a screen and then hook up with their counselor. Their
Really?
therapist, yeah.
Oh, that's a great way of doing it.
So they're doing it,
Very
yeah.
innovative. I like
Virtually,
that.
yeah, that's what Gardner's doing now.
Oh.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. Then do we have any unexpected subjects, folks?
What was with that email we got today about the school well?
Yes,
Is that like-
so,
And I made a mistake when I said that Nate was meeting, I said he was meeting with somebody, but it's Quabbin that he's meeting with.
right, basically,
It was
he gave us
28 pages.
right. He wanted to bring it to our attention to see if there was anything in it that the Board of Health needed to be concerned about. And it's all water related. And a lot of it looks like it's all, reports that they should or should, have not kept up on, at the center school, so they were dinged, and all of these things came up. And, when I saw this in the meeting with Nate this morning and looked over the list, I didn't see anything that we would be involved with at this time. Now, maybe something will come up in a report that they do, when they update all this, that we'll have to be involved with, but at this point, no. And that was why he was sending this out, 'cause he wanted to get our opinion on it, and so that we're aware of it. So now we have the information that was provided to him, and then he's going to meet with, Quabbin later this week and go over the fact that a lot of this is reporting that they have to do, and we're not keeping up on, basically. That's the way I read it, and that's how he expressed it too, correct, Judy?
Yep.
Okay, so we're just keeping everybody in the loop, keeping open communications on all these things.
So some of it was actual structural stuff with the tanks and that kind
Right,
of stuff.
and but it's still all water related, and it's something that they have to deal with.
They have the water quality itself was okay? Or
We
is there
have been
high
getting-
manganese or something?
We have been getting, I did not see that in that.
The
We had been
reports.
getting all the reports.
And it hasn't
from
been
the school
anything
water
there.
test.
Right, there hasn't been anything there.
In the past, there hadn't been anything. I can't, off the top of my head, remember the last time we got a report
They
from
do
the
have to
school.
update the emergency response plan, that's where I have a problem with them.
So,
They're not
so that's what
talking
that's
about
all
it,
about.
or they claim they are.
Okay.
Any other unexpected subjects?
But other than that, we're doing okay.
So, very quickly, I won't go into all the details at this point. I received a copy of the, quarterly expenditure ledger from July 1st through the end of, September the 30th, and looked at our recycling revolving account balance and our septic revolving, account balance and also, the BOH revolving account, and the numbers are not correct. So that was the purpose of me bringing this up to Nate's attention. And I have not been getting the monthly reports either, so now I'll be back on that list. For some reason, I'm not getting them, and they don't match anything based on, December 31st, 2022, and the balance, the numbers have decreased tremendously, and I couldn't see what was going on. So, we're looking into that, and he called Kelly, the town's accountant, and Kelly sent me an email this afternoon. And then we still have to have some more discussion. I think some of this is gonna come up under executive session at the next meeting. I don't really wanna talk about it right now. So, we'll just leave it at that, and like delve into it a little further. Why the numbers are as low as they are listed here. Okay, so, more things to deal with, but we'll hopefully have a good summary of it all by the next meeting. All right, any complaints? I haven't received any.
No.
Turnovers warrants for approval?
I don't have a turnover ready, but I just wanted to bring that, cause that was the check for the amount for the.
So, we had a very successful metal recycling, and the check from Templeton Salvage for all the recycling they've done for us this fall is $1,106 to go into the recycling fund. So, at some point, we may look at where our expenditures are on that account as far as paying for a construction dumpster, on behalf of the town's needs, and, what we might wanna do with some of these excess funds. But that's to be determined in the future. Just now, the check has come in this past month, so just to make you aware that it was very, very successful, and I thank all the people in town that brought their metal recycling because it was very beneficial, and I do believe that is something that we will continue doing. Nate has been working with Rutland and Princeton. Rutland is going to possibly develop a regional recycling site, for other things besides metal, and metal too, I guess, of which we could be a part of, so that we as an individual town don't have to have our own entire site. So he's working, with those other two towns, and hopefully they will get a grant to help develop that on behalf of Hubbardston, Princeton, with Rutland potentially being the host location.
Funny thing is, I asked whether, how come they didn't think about Hubbardston as being in the middle between Princeton and Rutland? And Princeton said, oh, Hubbardston is too far. But Rutland is not.
Well, everybody has different thoughts about how they go from one place to another.
Yeah, really.
So we
I wanna
have,
know the shortcut.
yeah,
I haven't figured that one out. I wanna know it.
so we have one warrant, number 13, for the final, total of $338.68 to approve. Robert Meager, mows the landfill twice a year, and we have a bill for $260 for the fall. And then we also have our, monthly fee that we pay to public service for the construction dumpster. Here is all of that, and if you approve, sign your name.
For the construction dumpster is
No, it's
No,
78.
$78 per month.
Yeah. currently, our next meeting date will be Tuesday, January 9th, 2024, 7 PM here in the Slade Building. And I think we should all remember that we're still short one board member. And if you happen to be socializing with folks over the holidays, maybe think about someone we might be able to invite to attend, and then see if they'd be interested in joining as the 5th member, at least for the short term. So that's one thing that we're doing well as we are, but it would be good to complete the board. So just a reminder about that.
Yes, we know all your friends wanna come to it.
I've tried
You haven't
recruiting.
said that,
They all look
but-
at me like I have 2 heads.
I don't know, you talked me into it. I don't know what I was thinking.
Which moment?
Okay, so, thank you folks for letting me push this through. I believe it is now 8, is it 8:30 by your phone?
8:32.
8:31.
8:31 PM, I'm adjourning the meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.